Hello friends, today I am going to talk about an appreciation of poem. But before actually we begin to write appreciation of poem, let's try to understand what is an appreciation. Writing an appreciation of something means analyzing and giving an opinion about a piece of literature, generally a poem. To write an appreciation, you should not only read the poem but also understand it thoroughly, because then and only then it's going to be possible for you to write it. Dear friends, while attempting appreciation of the poem, you need to take into consideration 5 points, and they are title, name of the poet, rhyme scheme, figure of speech and central idea. So let's learn in detail about them. Very first, we have to write the title of the poem, which will be followed by the name of the poet. Actually, you may cover both of these points in a single sentence. The third point is rhyme scheme. Normally, poet makes use of rhyming words in a poem. So based on that, you have to recognize the rhyming scheme of the poem or rhyming scheme of a given stanza in examination, and according to that you will have to write it, which is normally written using the letters like AB, 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 CB, etc. Of course, sometimes you may not find the rhyming scheme in a poem, so you may write it as a blank words. Regarding writing the rhyming scheme, I want to make you aware of one thing that is normally done by some of the students. As some of the students fails to understand the difference between the rhyming scheme and rhyming words, they tend to write rhyming words, which is not actually expected at all. So I repeat, here you are said to write a rhyming scheme of the poem and not rhyming words. The next point is figure of speech. As you all are well aware, poets normally make use of the several figures of speech while composing any of the poems. It's possible the poem that is given to you and of which you are going to write appreciation, the poet has made use of more than one figure of speech. So you have to recognize at least one of the figure of speech used by the poet. You have to pick out the line which can be the example of that figure of speech, and then after you have to write the explanation of it. Under the heading figure of speech, you have to cover 3 subpoints, 3 things, and they are identifying the figure of speech, picking out the example of the same figure of speech from the given poem, and then after to write the explanation of the same figure of speech. Next point is central idea. Whenever poet composes any poem, the poet always tries to convey something to the reader. So you have to recognize that main idea, theme of the poem, and it has to be written at least in 3 to 4 sentences. So in this way, you have to cover 5 points while writing the appreciation of the poem. I'll make you aware of the marking scheme of this question. For writing the title, there is half mark. For writing the name of the poet correctly, there is half mark. For writing the rhyming scheme, there is 1 mark. For figure of speech, 1 mark. And for central idea, there are 2 marks. So this is the way to write the appreciation of the poem in paragraph format, which is normally expected to be written in examinations.